Yeah, man, we are back up in here. It is your boy Limitless Nation. It is Jarvis here with the man. I'm talking about we up in Lifetime Fitness, and he is one of, if not the greatest or the best trained up in this joint. He top two, and at the least he's top two. Tom Reeves, man, what's the good, man?
What's up, Jarvis?
How you feel, brother?
I feel great.
I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you taking your time to do this, dude.
I appreciate you having me on.
No doubt, man. Let's get right into it, man.
Cool.
I actually just want to start from the beginning with everything. So, where are you from? Where you grow up at?
I actually was born in Hoffman, but I was raised out in Cary.
Cary. So,
Yeah.
right on 14.
Yeah.
I worked at Coilcraft out there, right?
Oh, really?
What is it, Tree Oaks or something like that? Tree Oaks Road?
I think so.
Yeah. It's decent. It's quiet up there.
Yeah.
Man. All right. So, grew up in Cary, and then that was all through high school, everything like that?
Yeah, I stayed there through high school, and then went to Southern Illinois.
Okay.
I did my bachelor's and master's down there.
I was at SIU too.
Were you?
I went in 2004.
Okay.
Yep, 2004, Saluki. I stayed in Pierce Hall, right off the lake over there with the engineers and all them dudes.
You know, I carried much longer. 2000 through 2007.
Okay. hey, I was there 1 year.
Get out that Van Wilder, you know what I mean?
Dude, I failed physics twice. I wasn't focused. I wasn't focused at all. And I ended up coming back to Harvard playing ball. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So
That's what's up.
went to SIU, got your degree.
Yeah, I got my bachelor's in kinesiology.
Okay.
And then I actually ran all my coursework for sports management on my master's. And then right before I finished my comps, I tore the retina in my right eye, so I withdrew from school.
How you do that?
Man, I just went to sleep. I woke up one day and I was blind in my eye.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Yo, how did that feel?
Crazy.
Yeah, man.
Crazy.
Take me through that. You go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
No, you wasn't partying, nothing crazy.
I mean, I had a couple of drinks. I worked 4 jobs in college.
Okay.
So I worked. I taught classes. I worked as a trainer at Gold's. I ran the group fitness at the rec center, and then I also worked for Miller Lite as like their night security when they did promos.
Okay.
So, you know, I worked that night. We did a promo, which you only have like 2 or 3 beers.
Yeah.
I came home. I woke up. I was supposed to go teach 8 a.m. lecture, and I was driving in the morning, and I was like, man, my vision was messed up, and I thought I was hungover. I was like, how did I get hungover after like 2 beers?
Right.
So I cover up one eye. It's good. Cover up the other eye, and it was just white. Nothing.
Wow.
You see nothing. So I got to school. I canceled my class. Called my eye doctor. Long story short, I had to pay a friend of mine to drive me because it's 6 hours. I couldn't drive at one eye. And I got back here at like 2 in the morning. Friday night, 8 a.m. I was saw my eye doctor. They sent me to Chicago. 10 o'clock I was on the table.
That's crazy.
So
I ain't never had nothing like that.
Yeah, it was
That's
crazy.
nuts, man.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So by the time you in college, you already personal trainer is what you gonna do.
Not really. I actually I got my bachelor's in kinesiology. I started teaching high school PE. So I taught at Naperville Central.
Oh, okay. So so teacher was going to be your route?
Mm-hmm. I was going to be a teacher, and then anyone who's a PE teacher knows it's difficult to get in right away.
Okay.
So rather than waiting and substitute teaching, I went back to get my master's. The problem is when you go back to school, it bumps your salary. Mm-hmm. And for a PE teacher, they don't want to bust their budget on a PE teacher.
Right.
So then it makes it near impossible to get a job.
Right. That's the complete opposite.
As soon as I hurt my eye, I went back. When I recovered, I had to move my stuff out, and I was filling out an application for Lifetime just to get like a job.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
They hired me on the spot, and the rest is history. They moved me to Florida. I moved back here.
Now talk about that Florida, because I know you a Miami dude, man. You been speaking on Miami.
Man.
I haven't been.
Yeah.
I was told I should have went when I was single.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been fun.
Yeah.
But you know, I mean, it's the experience, anyways. You know what I mean, with anything.
So what's the Miami life, man? Break it down for me.
Man, the Miami life doesn't sleep.
No.
They don't sleep. Their clubs close when it's light out. It's like Vegas, but hotter.
Okay.
You know,
just nuts, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be seeing Khaled talking about it. You see Ross talking about it all the time. It just whenever somebody say Miami, it's just like, yo, I'm going to Miami, son.
And it's crazy. I mean, it's just a different level of finances down there too. Like
Really?
my clientele, my clientels are the owners of the owners of the owners. Like companies you hear of, people who own like the Money Store, people who own like the largest commercial real estate developer in South Florida. You know what I mean? Like
loaded, huh?
huge money. So it's a different world. Your clients drive up in Lambos.
Hey, man, you can't be mad at that. That's a good thing to look at every day, man, just to push yourself to get that Lambo.
It definitely keeps you engaged.
Hell yeah. So, we went to Miami. How long were you down there?
6 years.
6 years, that's a good time, dude. It's a good amount of time. And you wanted to come back? you wanted to leave?
Man, and you stuck it to me quick. Well, there's a couple things. Like, honestly, living in South Florida, same reason you're like, man, I should have went when I was single. You're never going to get in a relationship down in South Florida. At least nothing that is going to further your life. You know, maybe put you to an early grave, but ain't going to further your life.
Right.
So, you know, that was one piece is that, you know, I could tell it was just like, it's just a nonstop spring break.
Okay.
And then the other part was my dad had actually been diagnosed with stage 4 prostate cancer. So, yeah, so when that queued up, then it was really time that I had to sit back and reflect on what was important because I had stopped working at Lifetime and I started my own training business. Okay. So I was actually running my own company and it was doing great. Yeah. So it ran, you know, it's definitely one of the turning points in my life because it's like you have your father who's your best friend and then you have this business that you built from the ground up. Right. So, you know, it took me about 8 months to tie up loose ends, but, you know, I shut it down and came back up here and started back at Lifetime.
Dang. That's tough, man.
No.
That's tough. So came back up, taking care of Pops, making sure he good. Back at Lifetime, killing it. You killing it up here. I seriously, I told you the other day, I see people doing what you, I know you've shown me stuff. I know you've shown my wife some things, but I see other people just doing it randomly. Like this dude got his hand on this whole place, man. How did you grow that? How did you get that feeling here?
You know, honestly, I think people get into training for one or two reasons.
What's that?
I think they either get into it because they have no other plan or because they just genuinely want to see people do better. Yeah. You know, and those really goal-driven individuals, those are the people who make the best trainers. And then it doesn't really matter, you know, if somebody's paying you or not. If you're sitting there, see somebody that you've said hello to numerous times doing something wrong, I mean, you're gonna help them out. Right. You know, you're not gonna let them just walk around the gym crazy. 100%. You know.
100%. So then, just speaking on that, then. What are some of the principles of some of the things that you look at as far as personal training? Like, what is something that drives you?
I mean, the biggest thing that I look at for personal training is the original goal that they came in for. People will always come in with a goal in hand. Yeah. You know, I want to lose weight. I want to do this. I want to do that.
But that's like surface level stuff, though, man.
It is. 100%. When you dig deep on why people want to lose weight, you know, that's sort of the driving force that you remind them of when they lose sight of what they wanted to do. Right. But I do find that it's easy at times to sort of, for a trainer, sidestep the original goal and focus on something else. Hey, you know, we're lifting more weights, or we're doing this, or we're doing that. I mean, if you came to me to get ready for, you know, an event, and we're trying to lose 20, 30 pounds. Right. I really am not going to focus on the fact that, you know, you're running a better mile if physically we're not getting your body to what you came in for. Right. You know, because that's at the end of the day, that's our goal. Right. So, you know, anything less than that is failure. So we're going to push to that every single day. I'm going to remind you of that.
That's awesome, man. I want you to go back, actually. I think we jumped over this part to where you started to get into the personal training. You said you was doing teaching, you trying to get the job as a gym teacher, but then you just went to Lifetime just to get a gig. What made you do that transition? Was it just the fact that you knew about the body, you knew about...
I had trained in college. During my master's, I ran group fitness. So I actually...
Did you do sports at all?
In college?
Yeah.
No.
High school? What'd you play?
Golf and tennis.
Golf and tennis. Hey, man, I like golf, man.
Yeah.
I might go to Top Golf today, actually.
Yeah?
I was thinking about it.
Man, you're going to go to the Warrenville one.
I
You got to
was
try
thinking
it
about
out. You got to try it
I
out.
might. We'll see. I was like, I ain't got nothing to do. My lady out of town.
Yeah.
So I got a few minutes. So
Yeah.
I might check that out. So golf and tennis. Didn't want to go to college for those, or just wasn't good enough, or what was it?
I tried to walk onto the golf team my freshman year. I was an electrical engineering student, so they bring you in 2 weeks early. You're like, they bring you in 2 weeks early in engineering. So I was there, 2 weeks before everyone else is there, parking, going to classes, things like that.
Yeah.
First day of school was golf tryouts. And I was parked in a parking lot that was split between a church and the university, and I didn't realize that you couldn't park on half of the parking lot. So I left. I went to my first day of class. I walked from class. I was in my golf clothes. Walked from class to my car, which was towed with my golf clubs. So my freshman year, I missed golf tryouts because I had to walk 20 blocks to get my car out of the tow yard.
That's crazy.
So, freshman year, what it's like at Southern freshman year. I definitely wasn't playing golf like I was before. So by the time sophomore year rolled around, I'm all right, but if you're not playing every day, you're not gonna make a top level team.
Yeah.
So,
I want to get better at golf, man.
Man,
I feel like it's gonna come in handy at one point in my life. It's gonna be big with contacts. Plus, I enjoy the strategy of a game like that. So I need to get better at golf.
Man, we can go. I taught the golf class at Southern.
See that? Right there. Making connections, people. Y'all see it. Y'all got to jump on these opportunities, man. You don't know where they going to come from or who they going to come by, but you got to jump on it. That's another tip for the day.
True.
Yeah, So
True.
Didn't do sports. Started to got the job at Lifetime with the training. Do you remember your first client?
My first client?
Very, very first client.
I don't remember my first client, but I remember a couple of my clients from there. Yeah, I remember a few of them. I actually have one. I trained her up until I left, and she went from about 260, 270 down to 220, 215. And then I left to Florida. And when I left, I put her in, another trainer's hands, and I left for 6 years. And I was back here training for 6 months, and then she contacted me. She heard I had moved back. So she came in, I started training her again. She had been through 6 trainers in 6 years, and she was 310 pounds.
Yikes.
So, and that's just sort of the overwhelming tone I hear all too much is people go to a trainer and they move opposite of their goals. Because the accountability piece is just not there, the drive, motivating, things like that. If you're just not on top of, I always tell people when they sign up that training exceeds that hour. Fitness happens outside of the gym.
Yeah.
You're in the gym for that hour a day,
right.
But every time you sit down to the dinner table, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You're affecting your fitness. So if people have questions of what to eat, or if they're not on the same page that you're on, you're set up for failure right off the bat.
Right on. Man. So when did that moment click for you that you said, you know what, personal training, that's my thing?
Probably in Florida. I moved to Florida. They sold me on moving to Florida because I had always been talking about golf. So they talked to me about going to South Florida because the back of Lifetime down there shares a golf course.
Okay.
So they were like, you're going to be able to play golf. You can try to make like a lower level tour and move your way up. Well, the problem is when you work a full-time job, especially like training, you don't get that sort of time
to train for the golf.
So I had played golf for probably the first year or two when I was down there as much as I could. And you just see that money. So I tried to get into medical device sales.
Okay.
medical device sales. I popped around for a while. I did some interviewing, things like
some
that.
door-to-door type stuff, man.
No, it's actually you run on call. And if so a company that I interviewed with was KCI, and they do, it's called a VAC, and it's basically when you have a gaping hole in your body and your skin can't cover it, it'll support that skin until the skin regrows. Huh. So like gunshot wounds and stabbings and stuff like that.
Stuff I don't want no parts of, basically.
So if something happens, they call you in the middle of the night, and you have to be in the operating room with the doctor to explain how your product is installed, maybe the pieces of it that the doctor doesn't know 100% because they deal with so many different products. So you have to be in the surgery. You
seeing these bodies laying on the table waiting for your instruction to the doctor.
Well, that's what I was trying to get into.
Okay.
That's what I was trying to get into.
I ain't ready for that, man. Yeah. I can't do that.
Well, that's what they run at an interview. They run like videos of surgeries to see how you respond.
Stop it. I can watch it on TV, but I don't need to be in the room to see that. Yeah. Especially like broken bones and stuff like that. If a leg hanging the wrong way, so I'm like, I can't do that. Because when I tore my knee, I'm only envisioning what I think it looked like. Yeah. And I can never watch it. Even when the NBA just replays the same thing over and over, it pisses me off. I don't get it. Why would you show that man getting his leg broke like that
over
9 times?
Over and over again. Yeah. Slow it down, back it up. People just in case you missed it. Let me show you again.
Let me show you the snap. Yeah. Let's slow mo it for you.
Yeah, we just.
Hey, y'all stop watching that stuff, man. That's just the real deal. All right, so
it's giving Jarvis flashbacks.
It really is. It's a sad moment for me, man. I know y'all appreciate it and look out for me. So please stop. All right, so we got the click. You got it to where in Florida is where you felt like personal training is what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, after I had tried to get a medical device for so long, it was like 6 months or so, I decided that, fitness was really my niche, but working inside of a corporate gym, you really don't see your passion.
Okay.
It wasn't until I started my own business that it really took flight. That was when I started prospecting businesses.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you putting in way more work.
I was teaching spin classes at different places. When my dad was first diagnosed, I did a prostate cancer ride and raised like $10,000.
Oh, nice.
I'd always done charity work down there. We did Habitat for Humanity with my clients and things like that. But it was definitely when I started my own business, then you start to see how influential you can be and how much you can affect change in people's lives.
Yeah, that's dope, man. And then, so, got the business going, came back home. What's the next move?
So I came back home. I actually moved back here and sold memberships.
Really?
My roommate from when I started at Lifetime, he was a GM, and he was like, man, you would be great, your passion, so on and so forth. You would really get people excited to join a gym.
So you was a member advisor for me.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I did. I sold memberships for like 6 months. And it was easy. It was good because I'll amp you up about fitness.
Right.
I'll charge that up. But the problem was after about 6 months, there's no connection, but then you start to see these people recycle down, not hitting their goals. And these are things that you insured people, you're going to do this, I know you're going to do this, so on and so forth, and now they're coming down, they didn't do it. And it sort of slaps you in the face like, I told them this was possible, and they just think that you're just another person who boasts to them fakeness.
Right. Yeah. So 6 months on that, you knew that wasn't for you. How did you go back upstairs?
Man, I forced my way upstairs. It was
challenge. That's what that's what we got to get you right here. Overcoming obstacles. This is the next part right here. What was some of the challenges against you?
Really, we were short-staffed downstairs. They were trying to get more member advisors in and things like that, and I was doing well.
Yeah.
But I was miserable at that time. I had still just moved back from Florida, so I was living in Cary. So it was like a 45-minute drive one way, working a 10-hour day, then work out. So you're talking I'm here for 12 hours. I drive another hour home, and you're doing that 6 days a week, Nice. And it was wearing me down. It was wearing me down. And I just flat flat told them, I said, listen, I'm going to go upstairs and start training. And I got a little bit of pushback. They wanted me to first do both simultaneously, sell memberships for a little bit of the day, then train some clients in my off hours, which it didn't really hold because I ended up pulling, I had about 20 client hours within the first 2 or 3 weeks. Wow. Upstairs. So, I got to full-time really, really quickly. And then there was just no time to do anything down here.
Absolutely.
So,
in your whole fitness journey so far, what was one of your biggest obstacles?
My biggest obstacle? Man, I couldn't even tell you. I mean, my biggest obstacle, I would say, was closing my business down. When you take something from the ground and you go through highs and lows, because anyone who's in training knows that you run through waves. Yeah. Clients come, clients go. It's ups and downs. You got to ride the wave. But when you're doing it for yourself and you're running your own business, a lot of people don't get into running their own business just because of the fear of lows. But that's natural in the business. Right. So, when I started training privately, I was doing well, probably 5-6 months. And I was living with a roommate, and then I decided that I was doing well enough to move on to my own. So I ended up taking on, about 2.5 times the rent to live on the ocean, because I was in South Florida.
Of course. Gotta make that
right. So I moved out, and the week that I was moving out, I lost a client who made up about 40% of my monthly revenue. So now, the week that I'm moving, I got a text that said, they were moving out to California and that, they weren't going to continue training, and it was a week notice. So I just took on this huge lease, and all of a sudden I lose almost half my business, and I was like devastated. Wow. I ended up talking to my dad. I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I said, maybe I'll just forego this lease and just move back. Right. And my dad's always been very tough, and he was like, you're just gonna quit on it that easy. Right. And
is that one of your most influential people in your life right now? Who inspires you? I would say my dad inspires me. Yeah. My dad he's always been very good work ethic. He worked at Motorola, always working. I remember once listening to my dad on a conference call, and it was the first time I remember it because my dad used to yell at me so much when I was young, so it was nice to hear my dad yell at another adult. And he was on this conference call, and this guy was like, I think he was in Texas, and he's like, we're not going to have the program done in time. My dad worked at Motorola. Yeah. So we're going to have to push that deadline out like 2 days or something. My dad's like, well, actually, that's not going to happen. He's like, I don't care if you don't go home. Right. He's like, you're going to have this done by the deadline because that's what you told me was going to happen. That's what I relayed. He was like, so one way or another, you better figure out how to get it done. He said, because the extension is not possible. And I was like, man, my dad just treated you. I was like, I feel like he just took your car away and sent you to your room. Like, I know how you feel, son. I know how you feel. Yeah. So it was good. Right. My dad is, he's tough, and then, just the way he approached his diagnosis. Yeah. My dad always got his PSA checked, which is public service announcement for guys. Make sure you get your prostate checked every year. Check your numbers. Make sure you know where you're at. Do that.
2 in 3 men get prostate cancer.
Really? Mm-hmm. Damn. 66%.
And if you actually catch it early enough, stage 1 through 3, they cure it.
Okay.
It's a 98% success rate.
Oh wow.
Stage 4.
That's major, man.
Mm-hmm. Stage 4 is different. So my dad had shoulder surgery. They checked his blood. They never pulled his PSA. The next year he went back. He got his PSA. His PSA was elevated. We ended up running a bunch of tests to find out that he had stage 4. So stage 4, is a much more serious diagnosis. But My dad's tough. You know, my dad is always he's always a trooper, and you know, he ended up. It's funny because, you know, I use it as a point of reference. Where people will always tell me, I don't have time to work out. I don't have time to diet. I don't have time to do all this stuff. My dad was the same way. I mean, I was a trainer living in his house. Yeah. You know, I charge people for fitness all day long, and I'm trying to give it to you for free. Right. But you're too busy. You're too busy. You're too busy. You know, the moment that diagnosis came around, it was like a boxing match. You know what I mean? And he just immediately turned up, and it's that fight or flight response. Right. And he fought. You know, he changed his entire life. His eating, his working out. He ended up dropping 40 pounds. You know, and just, you know, we manage it. We manage it. It's just a part of his life now. But really, I mean, it's something that you know, shows the resolve in the character.
And that's actually another big thing I'm gonna work on this year. Is one of the messages that I'm pushing is don't wait on the crash. So a lot of people, like you said, they got the excuse, I don't have time, I don't have the money, I don't have the energy, whatever the case may be. But if you were to walk into a doctor's office and he say, if you don't drop weight, you will die in 6 months, I guarantee all of a sudden, it'll be a lot of time in your day. It'll be a lot of extra money going to the right things. So I want to push people to not wait on the crash. You don't need to get the bad report from the doctor. You don't need to have that car accident. You don't need to have that life-changing event for you to wake up and realize that you actually have everything you need right now to go after any goal that you want to go after or achieve any goal that you need to achieve. So don't wait on the crash, people. All right, we done told you. Now you done got your warning. Don't come to us yelling if we ain't gonna talk about that no more. Don't wait on the crash, folks.
Yeah, true.
So what's next? What's going on in Tom's world, man? What can we push? Are you doing any charity things that's happening right now?
I actually went and took a housing class 2 weeks ago. Okay. At the Habitat for Humanity. So I got some information there. This summer I'll probably put together something for my clients to go out there and help build a house. Yeah. I always feel that it's important to give back. You give 100%. And it comes back to you,
100%,
you know,
man.
Twofold. So, you know, you got to take care of those and help others around you. So
let me know when you do that. I'm sure we'll be involved. I'll try to get as many people involved as possible. I know we got a lot of great people watching, so they do the same thing. In the fitness world, what's next?
In the fitness world, I mean, right now I'm trying to work on getting more online. Okay. So I have a website that should be coming out here pretty soon. Okay. I'm just working on my content for that right now. As far as that, you know, I've just been busting my butt here at Lifetime. You know, I start about 7 in the morning. I work till 10 or 11 at night. So. You know, it's about that grind, about that hustle. Yeah. You know, and
then how can they reach you? What's the social media? Break it, throw it out.
Yeah, of course,
all of it out there.
So social media, TRJ Fitness and Performance. You can find me on Instagram at Tom Reeves Jr., Snapchat TRJ Fitness, Facebook Tom Reeves Jr. I also have my business page, Tom Reeves Jr. Fitness, on Facebook. So you can reach me on all those networks. So I'm checking them all the time, always updating, fitness tips, motivation, things like that.
That's what's up, man. Yeah. Tom, I appreciate you, brother.
Jarvis, thanks for having me on,
I appreciate you sharing your story with us. Yeah. Hopefully it's been inspiring to some of you guys. Man, do you want to leave the audience on anything? Any last words, any questions, anything like that?
Man, honestly, I would just reiterate what you said. You know, don't wait on the crash. Yeah. Don't wait on the crash. Make it happen now. Whether you contact me, you contact somebody else, you go about it your own way. Don't accept mediocrity. You know, it's going to happen. There will come a point in your life where you're going to have to fix your body. So when you look at the point of what you need to do to invest in yourself now, it'll pay dividends in the future. So there's no sense to make money if you're not going to be here to spend it.
Man, I love it. Hey, hope y'all got something out of this, man. We'll talk to you guys soon. Later.